All right, welcome back. Harmless Dave over on the Real Media Observer today, observing some interesting stuff from COVID and coffee. Jeff Childers, who is a really smart guy, talks more about COVID than anything else, but his COVID and coffee today is featured over on my Rockfin channel. If you'd like to watch it and listen to it from start to finish, almost like a podcast. That way you can get all of the stuff that I can't talk about here. But I am going to talk about the final part of his COVID and coffee, where he discusses a Russian tsunami. Yeah, a Russian nuclear tsunami. And that is the title of this video. Might get a few people to watch this, because all of this is the real deal. When people say stop poking the bear, I think at this point, it's more than just poking the bear. It's like hitting the bear with a club, and the bear might just respond. So we'll pick this up toward the end of today's COVID and coffee. For some reason, the Russians are getting prickly about the weapons we're providing Ukraine. In particular, our high-tech HIMARS missile systems. Yesterday, Reuters ran a story headlined, Russia's Medvedev says attack on Crimea will ignite Judgment Day. Okay, Judgment Day, that doesn't sound too good. Reuters explained that President Medvedev's comments were aired a day after a Ukrainian official suggested that Crimea, which most of the world still recognizes as part of Ukraine, could be a target for US-made HIMARS missiles recently deployed by Kiev as it battles Russian forces. Now, keep in mind, both Russia and the US have intelligence services that are working to find out what the other side is up to. And I believe Russia isn't just paranoid. Russia sees that this could be a real possibility. I mean, essentially, we are fighting a proxy war in Russia. The trouble is that the US-supplied HIMARS missiles can reach Russian targets in Crimea, which Russia considers part of its national territory, but Ukrainian officials are saying they think Crimean targets are fair game because Russia is staging weapons and supplies in Crimea for use in Ukraine. So fair's fair. But Medvedev just said that an attack in Crimea will ignite Judgment Day. Now connect this dot. Yesterday, Russia launched its brand new, super gigantic, high-tech nuclear submarine called the Belgorod. The Belgorod. It includes a number of unique features, like 2 megaton nuclear drone torpedoes. Let me say that again. Like 2 megaton nuclear drone torpedoes that can race at around 130 miles per hour. This is underwater. Torpedoes, not missiles. The torpedoes are designed to explode underwater with the force of 10,000 Hiroshimas, creating a massive tsunami. All right, when we talk about Hiroshima, or some people say Hiroshima, that's typically like the gold standard in like enormous explosions. And this would detonate with the force of 10,000 of those. 10,000. If you look at this submarine, it's a bit scary. Those massive torpedo holes in the front of the sub, those holes launch the Poseidon nuclear drone torpedoes, which are named after the mythical god who controlled the seas. Some news reports estimate a tidal wave created by an underwater 2 megaton nuclear explosion could be up to 1/3 of a mile high. Thus, the 6 torpedoes can target 6 coastal cities, like, say, oh, I don't know, Washington, D.C., effectively wiping them off the face of the earth in an hour or less, with an unstoppable tsunami that would destroy or bury every single nuclear bunker along with every other above ground structure. Hey, but nothing to worry about, right? If the launching of the Belgorod isn't a message to Washington about Crimea, HIMARS, and Judgment Day, then I don't know what else they would have to say to make it clear they mean business. Joe Biden, on the other hand, is a neurologically impaired monkey playing with a box of unstable torpedo-shaped hand grenades. One verse from the Bible here. This is typically I go, yeah, doesn't really relate to what's happening here. But check this one out. And one powerful angel picked up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea, saying, in this way, Babylon, the great city, will be thrown down with violence and will never be found again. Babylon, Washington, D.C., that's Revelation 18:21, by the way. I'd guess that a 1,700-foot tsunami could throw down Babylon or any other city with violence, so it would be never found again. It's kind of bad. He says, it's like we're now in the book. That's not a good sign. If you're doing it right, where you want to be is not in the book of Revelation. That's where politicians are supposed to keep us, outside the final book of the Bible. Childers says, I'm just a lawyer, not a reckless politician, but maybe, just maybe, somebody should consider de-escalating this whole Ukraine deal before something really bad happens. He says, I'm just saying, don't cancel me. Have a marvelous Monday. So there you have it. Nuclear holocaust through nuclear tsunami. These words aren't supposed to go together. You know, nuclear war, nuclear tsunami. It's kind of like a Sharknado. You know, it's just not supposed to happen. But apparently it can, and it could, and we better start taking Russia seriously and de-escalate the situation. But there are absolutely no signs from DC that they're willing to negotiate or to de-escalate. And we're all supposed to be sacrificing too. Remember, oil prices, even though they're coming down because people aren't driving as much, that's the core reason why prices are coming down. Supplies are increasing because people can't afford to drive. They put less gas in their car and they don't go as far as they used to. So, you know, again, for all of you folks that are concerned about climate change, the climate will change drastically if we start seeing nuclear weapons being used. And there's no way to stop that. So you need to prioritize. That's what I'm saying. Again, anti-war, 98% of the time. I do understand why Russia went into Ukraine, though. I completely get it. They're trying to break up the rules-based order, which is a bunch of nonsense. And hopefully I'll have Scott Ritter on again at some point. We could talk about these HIMARS weapons systems and this new submarine. I'm sure he's very familiar with its capabilities. Until we get Scott on, or until I have another portion of this that I can share with you, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.